So in this fixture, we've got actually 3 different ways we manipulate color. I'm going to go through those real quick.
Okay.
The first one we're going to look at is the fixed color wheel. So this is a wheel similar to a gobo wheel where there's predetermined colors that are in slots around it. We're going to show the first couple here. So we have a red. Go ahead and go to the next. We have a blue. And this, what we're seeing now, is not mixable. These are colors that, for a variety of reasons, the manufacturer decided we want that in the fixture. It could be that these colors are ones that are hard to get through the color mixing spectrum itself. Or it might be something like a minus green for video lighting, where we need something that you could add in with the color mixing as well. We're going to punch through a little bit more of the color wheel here just to kind of see what all it does. This is the color wheel itself scrolling, so that maybe gives you a little bit better idea of what that looks like. We're just kind of going through different colors.
So is this essentially like putting a gel in front of a lamp?
Similar. These filters are glass. They're called dichroic glass, but it's at its base level, yes, it's the same thing.
Got it.
But those colors, just so everybody reiterates, those colors are fixed.
Those colors are fixed.
So you're not blending anything. Those are just putting a color in front of the white to get
what we just looked at
color.
Was that. And each manufacturer, when they're creating a light, picks a certain group of colors for, like I said, a variety of reasons. It could be because the color mixing doesn't do it well. It could be because you need a CTO or a minus green or some other video-specific filter in there to help get things right. And you still want to be able to have you can do color mixing and that fixed color wheel at the same time. So this gives you a little bit better, more ability to dial in lighting for video.
Okay.
So that's the fixed color wheel. Now we're going to talk about color mixing a little bit. Just about every moving light out there uses a CMY color mixing system, or cyan, magenta, and yellow to do its color. And we're going to start going through it a little bit on the screen back here. This is the cyan flag coming into place. These flags, as I'm talking about them, have gradiated color across it. So when it's all the way in, you get this, in this case, a very deep cyan. And then as you saw it coming in a minute ago, you saw that gradiated color coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to go into magenta next. You can see the same thing happen there, and then finally yellow. So far we've only been looking through one color at a time. As we start getting into the actual color mixing, you're going to see a combination here of a couple of colors together. I think the first one we're going to look at is red. So this is the magenta and yellow flag both in at the same time. The next one I think is green. This would be the yellow and the cyan flag together. And here's where this is most useful. On that fixed color wheel, you saw us scrolling through that, which means if the light is on, the only way we can change color is by seeing us scroll through those. So if we're in blue and we want to go to amber on the fixed color wheel, and it's 3 colors over, we either have to see us scroll through the colors in between those, or we have to fade the light out, reset the color, and bring it back up. With color mixing, we have the ability to change colors very gradually, as you're seeing on the screen behind you, without it looking, like we have a clown wheel spinning in front of the light.
And can you go from any color to any color smoothly?
Exactly, any color to any color. And I will say the exact fixture type, some do it better than others. I've worked with fixtures before where the color mixing is just not smooth, and especially going from certain colors to other colors, you have issues. This one, as you can see on the screen behind you, it does it great. I think we've got one more mixed color we're going to look at in here. Yeah, so that's a nice, deep, saturated blue, which is the magenta flag and the cyan flag, both in there together. What we've seen on the screen is the extreme ends of stuff, but we can hit any spot in between there to get colors mixed.
So this is also where you would combine different percentages of different colors to get any color.
Exactly.
Like the color picker on your computer, if you're working on a piece of software that has to pick a specific color, that's the equivalent to this.
That's it.
In lighting world.
And most modern lighting consoles actually have a color picker on them where we do the exact same thing. And the console knows to a point how much of each of these flags it needs to put in to get us to that color.
Cool.
So that's color mixing. The last color feature that a lot of modern profile lights have in them is the color correction. We're going to talk about color correction a little bit more in another video. But particularly in this one, it has what's called CTO, which is color temperature orange. So this is an LED source. It already has a nice, bright, high color temperature output. Sometimes we might want to warm that up a little bit for a variety of reasons. So you can see the color temperature filter start going in front of the light here, and it just turns it more towards amber. You could use, and I'm sure, I don't know if you guys are thinking this, but you could use the color mixing system to do a similar thing. But the same way, there's occasionally time when you want to be able to have the color wheel and the color mixing happen at the same time. There's times you're going to want to be able to color correct and use color mixing at the same time, which is where having it function on 2 different levels is handy.
So you're saying I can have purple and the CTO overlap each other.
Exactly. And the reasons behind that are probably another video, but especially when you're in a video heavy situation, you want to have the ability to set your color temperature, then still manipulate color in front of that. That still starts with that native color temperature.
So the CTO sets the baseline for everything else.
Exactly. Where this particular feature can be very handy is if you're using a light like this for key light or front light in your room, and you do need to adjust the color temperature a little bit, it's definitely quicker and usually more exact if you use that CTO filter like this to get to that point.
So with everything going online these days, something like this would be very handy.
Very handy. And we still, again, we'll get deep into color temperature in another video. I tend to shoot at a high color temperature so that, my key light matches a lot of the other lighting going on. That's still not always the case. I can't tell you the last time I used the color temperature filter at full like this. I'm not even sure if I ever have, but very common, I'll use it at like 10% just to get the color temperature exactly where I want it to be.